Morning, guys. Right, first of all, I promise to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yesterday was shocking beyond belief. It was orchestrated by the media and the police to make us look bad. But we had to go down there. We had to turn out. It's no good shouting off and then not going down. So we went and stood our ground. So we all met at the Guards Memorial. Probably 100 odd veterans. Alright, probably 60, 70 of us marched round. We left a certain amount at the Guards Memorial. The rest of us marched round about, I don't know, let's say 11:15. We marched round to the cenotaph. We got an amazing round of applause from the DFLA, and I thank all them for turning out. No matter what the mainstream media says, it's bollocks, guys. It's all bollocks. It was all orchestrated. What the police did totally contradicts everything they said and they did. Everything. How can you march veterans to the cenotaph, and when we get there, you tell us that it's a sterile area and that we are liable for arrest after you marched us there? You fucking bell-end hypocrites. Guys, I really shouldn't be doing this video today. I'm raging. And what I'm seeing from the mainstream media breaks your heart, because we was there. We know what went off. All right, there is a certain tiny section that probably was right-wing thugs. A small section. But don't label us all as right-wing thugs just because of a tiny section of people. We wasn't there sitting people's throats, hunting people down, kicking them in, battering them, murdering. We were there to protect our monuments. And what you did, you marched us down to the DFLA. We got an amazing round of applause. There were no trouble. There was another 60, 70 odd plus veterans at the Churchill statue. As we've marched down and passed, it marched us to the cenotaph. The rest of the veterans and the DFLA, the good lads from the DFLA, were coming up behind. And out from nowhere, the walk-through gap from the cenotaph back to Horse Guards, that was officially closed off, all of a sudden, hundreds of riot police come firing out. So they sectioned off 60 veterans at the cenotaph. And that's where the police caused the eruption, because the veterans wanted to come and stand with us, but you wouldn't let them. You'd section 60 of us off, ready for arrest, ready for trouble. Your cameras were there, ready. You wanted us fired up, but we weren't going to fire up because we'd gone there to guard the cenotaph. We wasn't there for violence, but we was there to stand our ground, and fucking we did stand our ground for hours. After all the threats, after all the bollocks, after all you tried to intimidate, you tried to, what was that fucking one police officer? Churchill's statue's coming down anyway. His granddaughter's requested it. The cenotaph's getting moved anyway. Hey, taunting us like that. That's what the police were doing, guys. Taunting us. And then they said, well, it's a sterile area. So it's a section 14 and you'll be in their cells till Monday and then you'll be charged. And the charges could be, because it's a sterile area and it's the cenotaph, we're going to charge veterans with terrorist charges, with terrorist offences. You fucking what? Veterans charging them with terrorist offences? Are you for real? Now, you've seen the riots over the last week or so. The police there on the knees in the white shirts. 60 odd veterans turn up. And you're there with your batons and your shields and your gases and your CS gas for peaceful veterans. Now look what we did last year. Look what Rolling Thunder and Never Surrender did. Rolling Thunder, the first Rolling Thunder ever, right? 30-odd thousand veterans down there, 25,000 bikes, not one arrest, no problems. Green Park, I had a TIA, a minor stroke, after 24 hours, which was unfortunate, because I would have carried on. But there you go, things happen. Then we had Operation Zulu by Rolling Thunder and Never Surrender. We all come together again on that. Amazing day. No arrests. But no media. Never no positive media out of the lot of it. And then we turn up yesterday and it was all set up. Now, if veterans had turned out in the masses, this wouldn't have happened. If certain veterans groups had to put out bullshit about don't turn out. But I thought veterans meant to stand together. But no, it seems there's a difference between a fucking infantryman and a chipper. That's what it seems to me. Because the only men that were really stood there at the cenotaph were infantrymen. Marines, paras, guards, infantrymen. And a shout out to any other veteran, my love and respect to any veteran that went down there yesterday. Even the veterans got divided at one point because the police were coming in, they were saying stuff, and they were just putting frighteners on the older veterans, and, you know, veterans have got families and stuff like that to go back to, and they don't want locking up till fucking Monday. So even some of them dissipated, and I don't blame them. But they went, and we still stood our ground. 30 or 40 of us stood our ground. We weren't going to move. We'd rather be arrested. But then it got quite serious and they started getting heavy-handed. So for the sake of everybody else, we'd proved our point. We'd stood our ground for hours. The cenotaph was safe. And it never got defaced at all. So proud of every single one that turned out. All right, that was all led by the Household Division MCC. Respect to Mick, respect to Mike, respect to all of you, Ian, the lot on you. Respect to fucking all on you that turned out. But like I say, guys, I say right-wing mob start this. No, the police started it. They blocked all the lads off from coming down and supporting us like was pre-arranged. So the police, let's get this right, the police marched veterans into an area, into a sterile area, and then threatened them with arrest under Section 14. You seen when I was trying to do a video, I couldn't do any more videos after that. My phone got blocked for some reason, or somehow. How is that possible? Truth tellers getting blocked. Again. You can't call me a racist. I'm not fucking Tommy Robinson. Not that Tommy's a fucking racist. It's just wrong. It's wrong on every level. And then you put that amount of police around us to leave the baying mobs of Black Lives Matter and Antifa to run round kicking in middle-aged white men, young white lads, slitting their throats, stabbings, kickings. Fucking horrendous. You all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. The media need holding for account for the bollocks they put out. I think we need to come visit the BBC again. In fact, I want somebody to get that fucking Sadiq Khan gone. He incited all that and let them get away with what they did yesterday. Veterans were looked at like pieces of shit and tracked like pieces of shit. And are you going to sit back and let your veterans that have fought in so many wars already, that are so fucking in so much pain, veterans are in so much fucking stress because there's no hope out there for anybody that comes back from war. Well, there is. We're making sure there's hope for everybody. Fucking us. Never surrender. Veterans for veterans. Gaz Weaving at the fort. Veterans Retreat. Outpost Charity. Veterans Lifeline. All these guys that work on 100% non-profit charitable organisations, these are the only ones that are doing that. All these top ones, Help for Heroes and all the rest of it, bunch of fucking tossers, a lot on you. You make me sick. You're complicit with the government and your money schemes that you've got with the government. Right-wing thugs. And then, you know, and all I've seen on the news this morning, some fucking dickhead pissing next to the memorial of a police officer. Well, you've got to piss somewhere. Every toilet was closed. You won't even let us take elderly pensioners for a piss anyway. I don't agree with pissing where he pissed. But it shouldn't be fucking main news. Not when lads were getting stamped on and stabbed and throats slit. Not when veterans were getting fucking threatened. Section 14's arrests. Getting blocked. Getting stopped from doing anything. And then when we decided to leave, we marched past the main police command. We asked them for 2 bottles of water. They had stacks and stacks and stacks of water. There were 2 elderly veterans suffering. We asked you for 2 bottles of water. Copper more or less sucked his teeth at us and closed the flap on the tent. Only then, for you to march past with 4 police officers around a Black Lives Matter protester, to pick up a bottle of water, to pick up a box of water, to marching past in front of all the veterans to take water to the Black Lives Matter protesters. The police were supplying water to the Black Lives Matter protesters. Fact. I don't lie, guys. Ask every veteran that was outside the Guards Memorial. It's a fact. I tell the truth. And I'll tell it straight. I'm still shaking. I am physically shaking from yesterday. All them veterans that said they'd turn out and didn't. I know a lot of people got stopped on the motorway. They closed motorways down. They closed tube stations down, and they closed certain train stations down as well. A1, M1, they just did everything to intercept people getting together. And their narrative was just right-wing thuggery. It was never the case. There was the odd little mob. I've certainly never seen none of it. They were just stirring it and stirring it and stirring it. Baying the mob. And on many occasions we tried to speak to leading police authorities and they just kept fucking us about. Shocking state of affairs this country's in. And I don't know where we go from here, guys. I want somebody to fucking really stand up now. Love and respect. That's the truth. We were set up. We were taunted. Chastised. Wound up. Used and abused. Spat at. But we kept our calm for the sake of the veterans community.